Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our guests. Welcome to chapel. Thank you for your effort and focus as we proceed through the winter term. As you know, we've just passed the midterm. I know you are all looking forward to the extended weekend from February 1st to February 5th. We will hear from a group of seniors today and again next Monday at chapel. Today we'll begin with Izzy, and when Max concludes, you will be dismissed. Izzy.
Hi, Suffield. My name is Izzy Duperre, and I'm a 2-year senior from Longmeadow, Massachusetts. When my dad told me that we were going to Hilton Head, South Carolina, I was initially excited until he mentioned that we were driving there. Translation, my whole family of 5 would be crammed in our car for about 17 hours. Also, knowing my dad, he would want to stop as few times as possible. In order to convince my sisters and I that a road trip would be a fun experience, he created the license plate game. He handed my sisters and I each a map of the United States so that when we saw a license plate, we would color in a state on the map. The goal was to complete the whole map by the end of the trip. We woke up bright and early at 4 a.m. for the drive. I slept for about the first 4 hours until I heard my mother shouting, "Break, I'm my dad somewhere in New York." I frantically woke up from my sleep, afraid I was about to witness a car crash, but instead found out my mom was just being the backseat driver. I thought, great, now I have to endure this for the next 13 hours. I thought I could just tune everything out by putting in my AirPods and binge watching my favorite shows and movies, but I was very wrong. Crammed in the back seat of our Toyota Sequoia with an enormous amount of luggages because my 2 younger sisters, my mom, and I tend to overpack. My show was conveniently interrupted with this one luggage falling on top of me. No matter how many times I pushed the luggage back into its rightful spot, it still somehow managed to fall over every 5 seconds. I specifically chose the back seat because it was somewhat secluded, meaning my relaxation wouldn't be interrupted by my sisters. But I was beginning to regret my decision, as this luggage seemed to have replaced them. Finally, I moved the luggage to a spot where it wouldn't fall over anymore, and proceeded to, in the words of Abby Lamiller, sit back and relax and enjoy my evening, when all of a sudden, I heard this agitating, grating voice belonging to my little sister, Madeline. I sensed an argument arising. Complaining will only lead to my other younger sister, Emma, feeding the fire, and then my mom, and finally my dad, acting as the fire extinguisher. I immediately turned the volume of my show all the way up. After what seems like an eternity, silence fills the car, but I know it will not last for long, and I must take advantage of this precious time. We go through the Delaware Aqueduct bypass tunnel, but then midway, my dad has the bright idea to share a fun fact that the tunnel is underwater. Of course, Emma and I start freaking out because we keep wondering if this seemingly never-ending tunnel is going to burst. Eventually, we make it out of the tunnel alive, and somewhere in Virginia, we hit some traffic and lose a few hours of time. I never had anything against Virginia until this road trip, because amidst the traffic and endless state, my boredom started to kick in. I decided it was time to resort to talking to my sisters. The 3 of us started playing Game Pigeon, Roblox, Headband Charades, literally anything to pass the time, and if we saw a new license plate state, we proceeded to add it to our map. Another hour or 2 went by, and we were still in Virginia. When I saw the sign entering North Carolina, I was beyond thrilled. We were entering the home stretch, only about 5 more hours left. I continued to look out the window at states to my map, listen to music, and watch TV, pretty much anything to pass time. However, when we were trying to pass time, the hours only seemed to go by slower. As we entered South Carolina, the sun was setting, and a beautiful sunset covered the sky. I knew we would reach our hotel soon and could not wait to run out of the car. Soon enough, we crossed the bridge leading to Hilton Head Island and only had about an hour left until arriving. While the trip was definitely a journey, when we reached the hotel, I smiled as I examined my map. While it was not completely filled, together my sisters and I had filled in a good portion of the map, including Alaska and Hawaii. We continued filling out the map until during our time in Hilton Head, when we spotted a new license plate in parking lots. Even though part of me dreaded the ride home, part of me was also excited for the chance to fill in the remaining states. With my Suffield experience coming to a close, and part of me still not believing that I'm graduating high school this year, I will be sure to make the most of the rest of my time here by filling the map with memories and embracing the distance traveled. I would also like to thank my parents for giving me the opportunity to attend an institution like Suffield and for their endless love and support, as well as my 2 younger sisters and our family friends, the Santiagos, for always being there for me. I would also like to thank Ms. Pence, Ms. Rivers, and all of my teachers and coaches for your support. To Ms. Tassoni, thank you for tolerating my never-ending emails, texts, and visits about my college applications. I do not know how I would have survived this process without your help. Thank you.
If someone had told me 4 years ago that when I'd attend Suffield, my best friend would be a short, curly-haired, crazy, middle-aged woman, I would have replied, yeah, whatever. But it turns out my best friend is that and exactly more. My best friend is extremely creative, caring, compassionate, and her last name is Cook. She's the person I run to during every free period, the person I text when I have some tea, the person who allows me to walk in her house like I'm one of her kids, but most importantly, she's my home away from home. The memories created with her are the ones I will cherish forever. Like the karaoke Saturday nights, the grocery store runs, the closed office door convos, car rides with all different music genres, Just Dance partners, and I can't forget about our bottomless chef nights. If there's one person who loves food like me, it's her. So here is my letter to my bestie. I would be lying if I said that leaving you is going to be easy. You have become a person I love seeing daily, sharing laughs, tears, awkward hugs, and endless funny times with. These 4 years have been a roller coaster for the both of us, but I want you to know that you are strong, you are smart, you are a great mother, and you are unquestionably selfless. The lives you welcome are always changed for the better, and that is because of you. You have inspired me to make sure that whatever I do in life, do it with love. Your support for my academics, athletics, and just me in general is highly appreciated. You are more than my advisor, you have become Mama C. Your craziness is what makes us close, as I've been surrounded by a crazy woman like my mom. As we finish out my senior year, I would like to thank you for everything that you have done for me during our time together, and just let you know that I do genuinely love you. Let's continue to make everlasting memories and let everyone know who the best advisor is on campus. Hi everyone, my name is Kiwana Bennett, and my bestie is Miss Toby Cook.
Hi Suffield, my name's Avery Freeman and I'm a 4-year senior from Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts. I wanted to take today to show appreciation for the people throughout my life that have made me who I am. I often felt lost and unsure of who I truly was, what I liked, and what I wanted to be. Coming to Suffield has truly transformed me as a person, and I can truly say I'm not the same person I was on moving day freshman year. These past 4 years, I have grown more than ever and have formed into my true individuality. I'm now genuinely confident in myself as a person and student, and I will always thank Suffield for that. But even as I have grown into my own person, I wouldn't be who I am today without the people in my life. Suffield has been the loom where I've crafted my newfound confidence, but it's the people, both here and beyond, who provided the threads that make up my being. I've always reflected on the fact that we emulate the people we love. The way we laugh, the things we like, the quirks we adopt, they all become threads woven into the fabric of who we are. Without realizing it, we become a reflection of the people we care about, and such reflections stick with us throughout our life, even if the people don't. I write my 2s in a loop and my 7s with a dash because that's how my best friend in 3rd grade wrote them. I talk with my hands because my mom always has, and I talk to myself because my dad always has. I put salt in my watermelon because that's how my grandma likes it. I always respond to Abe because it's what my childhood best friends and family all know me as. I lack volume control because my friends and I get a little bit too excited about things. And I'm not punctual because my entire family just can never be on time for anything. But these are just a few things that have always stayed true. So many people here at Suffield have left an impression on my life and filled it with love, laughter, and shared memories, and for that I will always be grateful. But there are 2 people who I feel I most reflect. Growing up as the youngest in my family, my older brothers, Miles and Kieran, have always been the 2 people I look up to the most. Besides my mom and dad, my brothers have taught me everything I know and have always been my biggest confidants and supporters. No one has made me laugh harder, scream louder out of anger, or taught me more about life. I grew up wanting to be just like them, which led me to adapt parts of them to myself, which stuck with me through and through. Their quick-witted jokes and hilarious one-liners have shaped my sense of humor, which may be a little bit much at times, but it doesn't stop me from believing we are the funniest siblings alive. Their competitiveness triggered my competitiveness, as with every video game, golf match, and football game lost, the eventual victories became so much greater. This led to my obsession with sports, which was inspired by years of competition and sibling rivalry and being forced to attend all of their games. My toughness and thick skin are thanks to them, because to join in on their so-called fun, I knew I had to put up with unapologetic headlocks, wrestling matches, punching lessons, and the occasional need for stitches. But in return, I can now endure just about anything. Their music taste seamlessly became my music taste due to our kitchen listening parties and long drives. Now when we are apart, we communicate by sending each other our latest songs and our current music hyperfixations. A constant reminder that, despite the distance, their influence has forever impacted my taste in music as well as my essence. And although I could go on, their guidance and mentorship throughout my life has had the biggest impact and role in shaping who I am. My mom has always told us to never take each other for granted, because siblings are the only people who you will know the longest and the best throughout your life. And truly, there are no two other people who I would rather have by my side. To my mom and dad, thank you for all your endless love and support and encouragement, and allowing me the freedom to create my own path. You both mean the world to me. To Mrs. Can, thank you for your guidance throughout my time at Suffield. Your wisdom, comfort, and support have truly helped me these past 4 years. And to all my friends here, especially Katie, Isabel, and Amelia, your influence in my life has been immeasurable, and I will always be grateful that Suffield brought us together. From my family I've made at Suffield to my biological family, the people in my life have shaped the person I am today, and for that I am eternally grateful. Thank you.
It's easy to take the people around you for granted, especially ones that are so prevalent in your life. But looking back, I don't know where I would be without these people. Over the past 4 years at Suffield, I am so grateful to be surrounded by mentors throughout my life who have shaped me into the person I am today. For as long as I can remember, my mom taught me never to stop pushing for my dreams. She has always supported me in every situation, whether it was a time in 6th grade when I decided I wanted to go to a ski academy, or when I realized I wasn't going to be in the World Cup and decided a more traditional boarding school would be a better fit for me. Boarding school was never really in the cards for anyone in my family, but when I said that was something I was interested in, she didn't hold me back. My mom always pushed me to try new things, constantly encouraging me to step out of my comfort zone. In return, she has always been supportive no matter how crazy or absurd my ideas might be. Whether I like to admit it or not, I am more like her than I often realize, and I'm beyond grateful for that. When I arrived at Suffield, it was hard to imagine my high school experience without my family. In hindsight, it was the best decision I ever made, largely due to Mrs. Can, who not only impacted my Suffield experience, but who has made an everlasting impact on my life. As an advisor and a coach, Mrs. Can has taught me many lessons. Through my ups and downs at Suffield, she has always reminded me what is most important and to stay true to my values. She has allowed me to express my opinions while explaining the importance of listening to other perspectives. Mrs. Can has invested countless hours in my personal development, for which I am forever grateful. Outside of my life at Suffield, I have had other mentors who have taught me to always have a passion in everything I do. Mark, who has been in my family's life for as long as I can remember, is someone I have looked up to. He is the one who's inspired my love for music, making me realize the importance of finding a passion and letting it be your career. He is the type of person that everyone wants to be around because of his love for life. His optimism inspires me to have a similar mindset and what has driven me to find the happiness in the little things. Finally, my dad's role in my life is something that cannot be replaced. His success has shown me what is possible when you are willing to put in the work. He always has my best interests at heart and is someone I can go to when life gets challenging. I admire his problem-solving abilities and the way he approaches life. I can't thank him enough for what he has done for me. I don't know where I'd be without his support. Now that I only have a few months left at Suffield, I realize the best part is the people. Adults like Mrs. Can, Mrs. Poole, and Mr. Dowd have challenged me to be the best version of myself. While I still may face challenges, I know that with the support system I have, anything is achievable. To all the underclassmen at Suffield, my piece of advice for you is to find mentors that you inspire to be like and never take them for granted. So many people here have your best interests at heart. Listen to what they say and learn how to be the best version of yourself. Thank you.
At Suffield, I'm Lisi, 3-year senior from Germany.
The relationship you have with your siblings is weird. You respect them your whole life, and they annoy you with everything they do, but then one day you wake up and you realize that they are actually kind of cool. Yeah, that day has not happened for me yet. I still think they're weird. But let me tell you a little bit about my brothers. If you're friends with me, you definitely know that I have 3 older brothers, Leo, Aoi, and Ferdy. Whenever I get asked how many siblings I have, and I answer with 3 older brothers, I get pity. I get reactions like, oh my god, that must suck, or I'm so sorry for you. I don't get mad when I get these comments, but I know that my youngest brother does not like them. I mean, who I am today is who my brothers made me be. They taught me so many things, for example, not to take everything so seriously, or how to wrestle. When I read the speech to my mom, she told me a story that I've never heard before. Apparently, when we were all a lot younger, we had this game where we would wrestle on my parents' bed, and when it got too rough for one of us, we would say a word, Spielstopp, which means stop the game. Then we would stop immediately, so no one got hurt. This was very fun for my brothers, because they were around the age of 3, 5, and 6, and when they said the word, we would stop and everything would be fine. But I was only 1, and I couldn't even talk, so they probably had a lot of fun wrestling with their 1-year-old sister who could not say stop the game and would end up crying. But let me tell you, it never ended good for them, because when I started crying, the fun was over and they got in trouble. It is still like that. This year, when I failed my driver's test, Leo was the first one to call me and tell me it is okay, and that he failed it as well. He also stayed on the phone with me for 3 hours straight while I was at Suffield having a little breakdown during sophomore year, if you know you now. He stayed on the phone with me while I was crying the entire 3 hours, even though it was 2 in the morning his time and he was out at a bar with his friends in Madrid. He's the one that calms me down when I'm mad at something or someone. He listens to my rants, but then instead of being mad too, he gives me the best advice I could ask for. In the moment I get mad at him because I feel like he doesn't feel with me, but without him I know I would have never survived my Latin class back home. On to Aoi. He knows almost everything about me, and I'm not saying this in a good way because he knows some stuff that our parents and our other brothers do not even know. We love to just go out for lunch and talk for hours. I accompany him when he has to wash the car or go grocery shopping, and in return he drives me everywhere so I don't have to take the bus or ride my bike. When I'm sick, Aoi cooks soup for me, while the others 2 try and keep distance from me because they're too scared to get sick themselves. And when I don't come out of my room a lot during the day, he comes in and annoys me until I go out of my room and to the city with him to drink a coffee. When I was a freshman at my old school at home, Ferdy became a sophomore there. He left Suffield after a year because of COVID. Whenever he saw me at school, at home, he would wave at me from a mile away, which made my day every single time. It felt like he was never embarrassed of me in front of his friends. I mean, I don't think so, because his best friends treat me like I'm their little sister too. When we were in our house in Italy this summer, Ferdy, his 3 friends, and I went to a club together. I'm not going into detail about what happened there, but let's just say I was mad because they were so overprotective. I eventually got over my madness during the 50-minute walk back at 4:30 in the morning, while Joe, his best friend since 1st grade, was hovering me with advice on what to do with my life. Don't worry, I did not follow his advice. I don't think my brothers know how grateful I am to have them in my life. I would have never gotten to the point where I am today if it wasn't for them. They know how to cheer me up, they were always there for me, and they know a little too much about my personal life. But they are the best brothers I could have ever asked for. I love them, and I'm scared for the day we all have our own family and not see each other every break. I know they will always have my back, and we will stick together no matter what happens. I hope that in return, also I am the sister they need right now, and I'm here for them like they are for me. To Leo, Aoi, and Ferdy, I love you, and I hope I didn't boost your ego too much now, just because of a little speech in front of my entire school. And I'll say it again in German, in case you didn't understand my amazing American English. An Leo, Aoi, und Ferdy, ich habe euch lieb, und ich hoffe, ich habe euer Ego nicht zu sehr gepusht, nur wegen einer kleinen Rede. Thank you.
Hi Suffield, my name is Robbie Kurzer. I'm a 4-year senior from Bedford, New York. Now I think most people who are now a senior or older can confidently say you go through the biggest change in your life through high school. I want to take you all back 3.5 years ago to my freshman year when I first came to Suffield. Coming from a small private school in New York before Suffield, I'd never truly been exposed to a new school, as I'd spent the past 6 years at the same private school. Making the change to Suffield was incredibly hard because it meant leaving all my home friends and moving to a school in the middle of COVID. My freshman year was spent mainly in my dorm due to a 2-week quarantine we were forced to have each time we stepped on campus. My roommate and I were complete strangers, spent a lot of time together during that year. We had our good times and our bad times, but we ended up having some great memories. After many days of online classes, ski practices, golf practices in the afternoon, COVID tests every week, freshman year flew. Despite all the craziness, I can honestly say I enjoyed my freshman year and was looking forward to returning to Suffield for another year. As sophomore year began, my Suffield career began to take a shift. I struggled with school, friendships, felt isolated, and began to wonder if Suffield was the place for me. I missed my friends from home as well as my family. I was even ready to give up skiing in order to attend a school back home so I could be in a place that was familiar to me. What got me through this bleak year was every week focusing on the things I enjoyed, focusing on the things that mattered the most, and the support from the faculty like Ms. Can, Mr. Dowd, Mr. Zedian, who all acted like family during this rocky year. As junior year began, I tried to eliminate any thoughts I had about Suffield not being the place for me, because academically and athletically, I knew this was the right fit. However, the year did not start out as I would hoped. I found out my sister was moving halfway across the world, which meant time would be limited to FaceTime and holidays. My best friend from home was going through some significant challenges, which I could not be there for, and then I found myself once again struggling socially, and now finding myself once again struggling academically. Again, I'm so incredibly grateful for the faculty who have supported me through the difficult times, but I'm so incredibly grateful for Connor and Kiefer. You guys have always been by my side, and you've shown me what it's like to have brothers away from home, and I truly can't thank you guys enough for everything you've done for me when the times got hard. I also want to thank my parents for everything you guys have done for me. Coming to every ski race, every golf tournament, and just being my biggest supporters. I know these past couple years haven't been easy for you guys either, but we made it through, and I love you guys. Now as a senior, I can confidently say I found my way. Although it took time and a lot of ups and downs, I can confidently say Suffield was the right choice for me. The biggest lesson I learned is that you must go through the bad and the hard times to truly appreciate the good ones. I am nervous to take this next step and leave Suffield and do this all over again. But I know that Suffield has prepared me for my next journey, and everything just takes time. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Maxine Goldschmidt, and I'm a four-year senior from West Hartford, Connecticut. When I was thinking about what to write for my chapel speech, I wanted to talk about something other than fishing and skiing. I was thinking about something that has been a big part of my life, but few people know about. Since I was little, Siamese cats have always been a big part of our family. Some people are dog people and some people are cat people, but I know I'm definitely a cat person. So for my chapel speech, I'm going to talk about my favorite reasons as to why Siamese cats are the best cats to have as pets. Siamese cats are unique from your average house cat. Not only do Siamese cats have a very distinctive personality that's unlike your typical cat, but they are ferociously loyal and possessive of their human companions. They are also extremely vocal to the point of sometimes being annoying. At other times, they can be extremely demanding, but most of all, they are very devoted toward our family and love human companionship. Currently, I have two Siamese cats, Taz and Sophie. They are seal points, which means they have a dark brown head, tail, and paws with a light tan body. Although Siamese cats are traditionally very long and lean, my cat Sophie loves to beg for human food, so she is a little chunkier than her brother. Every day when I come home from school, my Siamese cats are here to greet me, waiting in my mudroom with their loud meows as soon as I walk into the house. No matter where they have been sleeping during the day, they know I'm home. They continue to follow me around the house, competing for and demanding my attention. Often they'll drop a toy at my feet and expect me to throw it back to them and play fetch. My Siamese cats make sure that it is never quiet in my house. They are extremely loud and vocal, particularly when my parents and I are talking or one of us is on the phone. It's almost like they know we are ignoring them on purpose. The more we ignore them, the louder they get. Besides being extremely vocal, they are very smart. During the pandemic, when most of our classes were online, my cats would meow loudly and walk over my laptop during my team's meeting. I would have to put them in another room with the door closed in order to concentrate. To my surprise, a few minutes later, they would jump back in my face, meowing even louder. They had figured out a way to launch themselves against the door handle and open the door. Despite being loud and demanding, at the end of the day, Taz and Sophie are very devoted to our family and make my family complete. I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank my mom and dad for all their encouragement and support during my high school journey, but most of all, for teaching me the importance of family. I truly appreciate them spending countless hours driving me to ski races and cheering me on every ski race. Thank you.
Have a great day.